Okay, this is notes 3-1, the first notes of unit 3. Things we want to kind of look at are under the remember tab here. It talks about dotted and solid lines. Well, we did that when we were on number lines. We did it with open and closed circles. If I had a closed circle, it meant that I included that point as a possible solution. So for instance, if it was a closed circle on a number line at 3 and shaded to the right, that would mean greater than or equal to 3, which means 3 could be an answer or anything greater than that. If it was an open circle, it meant just simply greater than 3. So it could not be 3. 3 could not be one of the answer choices. 3.000001 could, but not 3. That's the same thing here. Is the dotted lines are the same as our open circles. If it's a dotted line that I graph, the answer solutions cannot be on that line. They would just be above or below according to the inequality. If it's a solid line, that's the same thing as having a colored in circle or a closed circle. It means that the points along the line are good, as well as the points above or below, depending on the inequality. So on number 1, it's already in y-slope-intercept form. And so we just need to label out our y-intercept and our slope. So our y-intercept, our beginning point, is 6. My slope is -2, which as a fraction is -2/1, because we like a rise over run. Now I'm ready to graph it. After looking at it, though, before I start the graph, I look at the inequality. The inequality says greater than. It is not an equal to, so that tells me it's a dotted line and not a solid line. Okay, so we go to graph it first. Started our y-intercept, our beginning point, which is 6 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we put a point. From there, I use my slope to find the other points. It's -2/1, so that means rise over run, so go down 2 over 1. And I can continue to do that all the way down 2 over 1. I could do that forever and ever until I run out of graph. Down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And then I could do the same thing going up, because I could say, okay, that negative goes with the bottom instead of with the 2. So that would mean rise 2, 1, 2, and then run to the left 1. And it's all the same line. Okay, I see that it's all on the same line and it's dotted. And as we stated before, let me go ahead and erase where I just made that solid there. Okay, it is greater than, which means I shade above the line. So my answer solutions can be anywhere in the shaded area above that line. It cannot be any points on the line. So a point on the line, such as that one, would not be a solution. Anything over in the non-shaded areas are not solutions. Anything in the shaded areas, these are all good solutions. Okay. All right. Number 2, we have to put it in y equals form. So I move the 3x across. And then I have -2y is greater than -3x plus 8. Okay. Okay, now I am going to divide by -2. And I just said divide by a negative. So we have bells and whistles. Beep, beep, beep. Bells and whistles go off. When we divide by a negative, we have to flip the inequality. So it is no longer greater than. It is less than. A negative over negative is a positive. 3 over 2 is already reduced as much as it'll go. We do not want that to be a decimal because that is our rise over run. That is our slope. Then we have 8 divided by -2, which is a -4. So our y-intercept is -4. Our slope is 3 over 2. So I go to -4 on my y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. From there, I use my slope to find my other points. It's rise 3, 1, 2, 3 in the positive, run 2. put a point. Rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run 2. Keep on going. Up 3, over to the right 2. Up 3, over to the right 2. I can do the same thing in the other direction because a negative over negative is a positive, so I could go down 3, 1, 2, 3, to the left 2, and I see that it is on the same line. Looking at the inequality is not equal to, so that tells me it's a dotted line, so I'll throw a couple of extra dots in here in between just to kind of make it more look like a line. All right, and it says less than, so that means shade down. So the answer can be any points below that line. Cannot be any points on the line. It is not inclusive on that line. It is a broken line. Okay, it can only be answers for coordinates below the line. Okay, moving on. Same thing, got to move the 2x across, so I have negative 3y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 6. Divide by a negative 3, because we want y equals. And bells and whistles, beep, beep, beep. I said divide by a negative, so I have to flip the inequality. It is now less than or equal to. A negative over a negative is a positive, so 2/3, and it's already reduced as much as it'll go, x. And negative 6 divided by negative 3 is a positive 2. So my beginning point, my y-intercept is 2. My slope is 2/3. Okay? Now, on this guy, I notice my inequality has a line under it that's an equal to. Okay, so that tells me right now that it's going to be a solid line. Okay? Go ahead and take that all off. All right, so here we go. Our beginning point is at 2 on the y-intercept. 1, 2, put a point. From there, I use my slope, which is rise a positive 2, so that's up 2/3. 1, 2, 3 to the right. Rise 2, run 3. Rise 2, run 3. Same thing in the opposite direction because a negative over negative is a positive, so I could go down 2 to the left 3. Down 2 to the left 3. Down 2 to the left 3. And it's a solid line because it's equal to. And it says less than, so that means I'm shading down. So my answer can be anything on the line because it's equal to or below it. So any point I give on the line is good, okay? Or any point below the line. The last one is x is greater than negative or equal to negative 3. So that there is no y on this one. We know that all x equals are vertical lines. So this is going to be a vertical line going through negative 3. And it's going to have a undefined slope. So that's a vertical slope. And because it's equal to, it's a solid line. Okay. It says x is greater than or equal to, so that means shade to the right. Now remember, so first off, anything on the line and to the right are possible solutions. Okay. Now remember, since x equals is a vertical line, if it were y equals, like one of your homework, it's going to be a horizontal line, a flat line, okay, going through the y-axis. So it would be a no slope, or zero slope, zero slope, okay? All right, so now the problems you're going to do, A3-1, you're doing problems 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, 11, and 13. On number 13, okay, on number 13, the answer is not there. One of those has the correct line, but there is no shading. I need you to choose which one of those is the correct line, and then I need you to shade it in the correct direction. That's how you do number 13. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Also, completed notes will be online on your Google Classroom. Have a great day. This completes Notes 3-1.